Coming up on the Rock Countdown, a visit from one of the hottest young drivers on the IndyCar circuit, Sarah Fisher. Don't try to go anywhere near this week's guest without earplugs when she's performing. It's IndyCar driver Sarah Fisher. What's up, girl? How are you doing?
I'm just hanging out, thanks.
So I'm really excited to meet you. It's the first time we've had a race car driver, especially a female, on the show. And you have a lot of firsts. You're the first and youngest woman to own your own team, and you were in eight Indy races as well. How did you handle such a male-dominated scene?
Well, I went into it, I've been racing since I was 5 years old, so I've been around the whole man environment for a long time. And really, I think the most important thing is if you have the ability to do, what it is that I do, race car driving, then, all your peers respect you just naturally.
Sure.
So, I have that ability, I'm building on that ability, and now we just got to get just as good as an entrepreneur.
Well, it must be a really good, confidence power trip as well,
Yeah.
It's a very aggressive sport, and often aggressive sports go along with rock music because it's an aggressive sound. You're really into pop music. Are you into rock at all? Are there any bands that you're into?
A little bit. I mean, I guess Pink just summarizes the whole thing for me.
Right.
I love Pink. She's, she can rock out, and, on my way home or to the racetrack, I can listen to her and just be motivated to really get my game going.
Right on. There's a lot of physical that people don't understand. Like, you're training all the time. So
Correct.
tell me a little bit about your personal training and what you need to do to prepare for your races.
Well, we race year long, so that in itself is a method of training, being in the car all the time. But I also work out with a physical trainer, so that when I get in the car, my body, I never have to think about my body failing me. It's all a mental game at that point. So there's a lot of cardio that goes into it, a lot of upper body strength being a female. But I have.
What kind of exercises do you do?
Oh, lots. We work with a lot of sort of self-driven workouts. And not so much on machines, but being able to powerful enough to move myself around.
Right on.
Is most important.
That's awesome. We've got more with Sarah coming up, but first a video. Drowning Pool is down 1 to number 6 with 37 stitches. At number 6. Now, what we just saw is a band with a song called 37 Stitches. And so, on the theme of stitches, do you have any bruises or any scars you want to tell us about?
Well, no scars really that you can see. I had some back injuries, so I started out at 5'3". I'm down to 5'1" now.
Oh my God.
The cars, when they hit the wall, they hit at fairly big impacts. So, we're constantly every year trying to redesign the seats and redesign, the safety equipment that we use to make them better to crash in.
Have you been in a lot of accidents on the
I've been in enough accidents to know when I can and cannot step on it.
Yikes.
But it takes that to learn, the limits of these race cars, because the limits are so far. You have to know and have taken it past that limit to know what you can and can't do.
Right on. Last year, Three Doors Down played at the Indy, and what is usually the vibe at these shows? Like, what kind of bands are playing? What's the energy? What gets people really going at these shows?
Well, bands like Three Doors Down. I think Kid Rock played a year or two ago, and it's just to get the crowd really energized and into the racing and the drivers and the excitement that they're just about to see. To get them pumped out.
Who would you like to see open?
Gosh, I don't know. Fergie. I think her husband Josh is driving the pace car, so I'd love to see her come soon.
That would be really, really cool.
That would be
so
awesome.
Now you guys, with all the drivers, all 33 drivers, are in New York for a photo shoot, right?
Correct.
To promote. And have you ever driven on a range in New York? And how do you feel about driving in New York City?
Driving in New York City is crazy.
I know.
Now they have a two-seater that's a street legal Indy car that we take passengers in. And I've had the privilege of driving that here, but man, taxi drivers don't care if you're in an Indy car or a motorcycle.
Well, they don't even know what kind of car
They'll
is.
still cut you off.
They don't even speak English. They don't even know what's going on.
They
They're just
don't
driving around. Right on. It's time for a short break, but there's more with Sarah Fisher right after this. We've been talking with IndyCar driver Sarah Fisher, and now the next race is the Texas Motor Speedway, but you're most excited about Kentucky, right? So what's the difference and why one over the other?
Well, in racing all year long, the Kentucky Speedway is probably the most excited that we get because we've had really good results there. I've been the fastest car to qualify. I've finished on the podium. And I really think that as hard a work as we've done in this off season to get ready, I think that's the number one race that we have the best chance at winning.
Wow, that's exciting. Now, what are your fans like?
I have a whole demographic of fans. I have everyone from, you know, the little girl that aspires to either start her own business or become an athlete to, you know, a lady who, you know, is, you know, maybe past her time to do something and she's, you know, living through my dreams, or a family who comes to see, you know, what we are. There's even guys out there that cheer for me and think it's so cool that I'm out there beating the guys. So
of course, well, that's hot. It's a very sexy thing.
A whole slew of folks.
Right on. And if somebody wanted to get into this business, how would one go about becoming a race car driver?
It's very tough. It's a very tough environment. There's only 33 drivers in the Indy 500, so that should tell you.
Right.
You know, it's extremely difficult. So you've got to start as early as you can. It's like Tiger Woods starting, you know, playing golf before he could probably ride a tricycle. So it's the same thing. I started when I was 5, and so as soon as you know that you like going fast, you got to get in a car.
What kind of car do you drive in your leisure time?
Well, I have a couple, but I think my favorite is my Acura. I have an Acura TL that's really nice to go.
You get any driving tickets because you're always speeding?
I don't get tickets.
Yeah! Well, unfortunately, our time is up with Sarah Fisher, and she is badass. Now, we've got another video coming up next to number 5. Here's Saving Abel, Drowning.